Hey there, everyone. It is Shani, your little big sis, and welcome back to another episode of Always Keep the Faith Fridays, where I hopefully give you a motivating or encouraging word getting through your work week to Friday, my favorite day of the week, and going into the weekend. So this week, I wanted to share with you the story about when I found out from the Lord the date that I was going to be married. Now, what makes that so amazing? Well, one, I didn't have a ring at the time. It was November 2017. I had been with my then boyfriend for about three and a half years. And while, of course, I had the desire to be married, it just hadn't happened yet for whatever reason. I knew that he was who I was going to marry. I believed that with everything in me, but it just hadn't taken place yet. And I wasn't putting any pressure on him because I really wanted to make sure that when he decided he wanted to make me his wife, it was something that he definitely wanted to do and didn't feel pressure to do. On top of that, I was his realtor at the time, and he was going through the home buying process, and he had put down his down payment on a home a couple months before, and I had decided, you know what, Shani, let's not worry about engagement, a wedding right now. Buying a home is a huge process. Let's just let him take care of that, and we'll see what happens after he closes on the house. Maybe at some point after that, he'll propose and we can get married. So here I am. It is November 2017. We had just had Thanksgiving, and I was driving in the worst traffic from St. Pete, Florida, where my parents live, to Orlando. And when I tell you the worst traffic, like this traffic was like dead stopped, like on the road, nobody's moving. And I remember being super annoyed, and because I was driving and traffic was so slow and my family was tired from cooking and having Thanksgiving dinner, everybody in the car was asleep, like fast asleep. So here I am, I'm chilling, literally just sitting in the middle of the road because no one's moving. And I just hear the Lord speak to me. And I know for a lot of people that sounds like, oh my gosh, so crazy, so mystical. But it's true, the Lord really does speak to people. And it's not always some audible booming voice. For me personally, it's just kind of a sense, me hearing something in my head that sounds very much like my voice, but it's slightly different because it's not something I'm thinking about at the time or that I would think for myself, or that's motivated by me. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day that we don't have time for, but just trust me on this one. I heard the Lord say to me, I want to give you your wedding date. And I'm sitting in the car by myself, mind you, thinking to myself, and me and the Lord, I go back and forth with him sometimes. And I'm just like, I literally said, Lord, I don't even have a ring right now. So why would I need to know my wedding date when I don't even have a ring? And he was like, Shani, I'm going to give you your wedding date. I know you don't have a ring yet, but just listen to me. So I was like, all right, cool. What's my wedding date? He said, you'll be married August 18th, 2018. And I was like, okay, it is November 2017. I don't even have a ring. And now you're saying I'm going to be married in less than a year later. So me being Shani, I was just like, this is terrible. But I was like, all right, Lord, I will look at my calendar and see what that date is. If it lands on a Saturday, then maybe. So I look at my calendar and it is a Tuesday. And I'm like, see, no way. No one's getting married on a Tuesday. And he's like, Shani, look again at the date. And the date was August 2017, which means I was looking at the wrong date. Sure enough, when I look at August 2018, it is a Saturday. And I was just like, okay, Lord, August 18th, 2018, it is a Saturday. That could be a potentially great date. I've always thought of a summer wedding. And then I was like, but why that date? And he gave me an explanation in terms of just what the letter 8 means as far as like new beginnings. And, also having that cute like 8/18, 2018, something easy to remember. And there were so many more things that I'll probably have to share at another time. But it was just a very blessed date in terms of purpose and prosperity and a new beginning in our lives. And I wanted to get excited, and I did, but at the same time, I just felt so baffled because I'm like, Lord, what are you doing? Like, what's happening right now? Anyways, I said, all right, God, I'm going to trust you on this. I put the date in my phone. I made a screenshot of all of the things that he shared with me in terms of the letter 8. 8 also on its side is infinity. He gave me the idea of just infinity love and just all these different things, which eventually became my wedding theme. And I kind of tucked it away. And at the time I decided, okay, It's not really real until you write it down and until you share. So I went ahead, I wrote it down on my calendar, I put it in my phone, and I shared it with my sister, my mom, and my pastor, my co-pastor, my pastor's wife. And I said, all right, I'm gonna share it with those people. And I think eventually I shared it with maybe 2 or 3 of my closest friends who ended up being in my wedding later. And I said, all right, ladies, I know, sounds crazy. I have no ring. I don't even know what's going on in this area of my life, but God gave me the date of 8/18/2018 that I'm going to be married. So I'm putting it out there. That way, when it happens, I won't seem as crazy because I told you all the same time that I found out. And if it happens, then it's God, great. And if it doesn't, maybe I was just super tired in traffic and don't know what happened. However, that January of 2018, the day that my then boyfriend closed on his house, he actually proposed the same day that he closed on the house. Completely surprised me because I was completely taken off guard. Wasn't expecting any proposal of any sort because, again, I was so focused on him just closing on his house and everything going perfect. And in one day, the Lord gave me not only a husband or the promise of a husband and fiance, but also a new home, knowing that once we were married, we were going to be able to live there together. So it was just like, oh, what's going on? Then it's just like, oh my gosh, well, now I can really think about August 18, 2018. And I remember after things had kind of calmed down and, me and my fiance at the time celebrated, I told him, I said, I know this is going to sound crazy and I know that you just proposed today, but God gave me the date that we are supposed to be married. And he was like, all right, what is it? And I was like, August 18th, 2018, which is in like 6 months. And he looked at me and he said, all right, if that's what God said, then let's do it. And sure enough, I started planning, started moving, wasn't sure how it was going to happen. At that time, it was, post-COVID or pre-COVID when it was so hard to get wedding dates and venues and you normally have to book everything and everyone a year out. And needless to say, God not only did August 18th, 2018, but he blew my mind with what he put together for me and how he allowed so many people to give to me and to help and how everything came together. And it was such a beautiful event. And I'm so grateful that he gave me that moment to have to rely on only faith at that time, because in 2017, nothing was popping off. And then even when he gave me the promise of the ring, I still had to believe him that somehow this date was going to take place. And God in his goodness, he made it happen. And for that, I am forever grateful and oh, so very thankful. And it made me just give me more of a boost in my faith and my confidence in the Lord that he really does care about our desires, and he can give you the desires of your heart if you'll just take the time to really trust him. So, what is the faith fact in all of this? For me, and hopefully it'll be some encouragement for you, the faith fact was when God tells you something, when you hear from him, believe it. There's been so many things in my life that he's told me from I was a little child that I'm not seeing come to fruition until now. And there's so many things that he's told me that I haven't seen them yet, but because of what he showed me in the past, I know that it's going to come to pass. So just be encouraged that if you hear a word from the Lord, if he tells you something, whether it's you hearing it in your head or hearing audibly, or maybe it's something you read or something that a friend tells to you, or whatever the case may be, believe it with everything in you. Because if he said it, trust and believe it is going to happen. It will take place. Anyways, I hope that is encouraging and motivating for you and that you all have a great Friday and a great weekend going into the next week that is ahead. As always, you all know that I am just so excited about just getting a chance to share from time to time and just getting a chance to just say something that will be motivating and that will be encouraging to you wherever you are and whatever's happening for you in life. Anyways, that's it, people. That's all I got for you today. Hopefully I wasn't too long-winded, and hopefully that story was something that could really help and encourage you. As always, be blessed, be encouraged, and you know the motto, always keep the faith and let the Lord fight your battles. Have a great weekend ahead, people. Much love to you. Until next time, peace. Want to get a dose of motivation every Friday? Well, hit that notification button to subscribe so you never miss out. And feel free to share the encouragement with a friend. Don't forget, follow me on Instagram at Shani Speaks Now and keep the good vibes going week long. Thanks so much for watching and see you next Friday. Ah!